Come with us now, if you dare, down a rickety staircase into a dank, dark basement. What awaits? The Saturday Night Freak Show.
Hey, thanks for listening to the Saturday Night Freak Show podcast, the movie review and talk show podcast that comes your way every Saturday night, whether you're ready for it or not. These are the internet radio superstars.
Holly, Michaela,
Sean,
and I'm Colin.
almost did the Holly thing tonight.
Yeah.
Really?
I was feeling it. Yeah, it was in the back of my throat.
I get under your skin.
Well, tonight we watched a movie that was chosen by
Sean, happy birthday, Sean!
thanks.
Yeah, we gotta take a moment here. This is
thanks.
Freak Show birthday week.
It really
Colin,
is.
yeah. Holly, and Sean
Yeah.
all had birthdays
Right.
within 1 week.
Right.
So if you
And-
have not wished them a happy birthday on socials yet, please do so. Write in your favorite memories of one of them,
Ooh, there you
please.
go.
But today, as the day we are recording, it is Sean's
It
birthday.
is my birthday.
So
Thank you. I
yes.
appreciate
Colin started us off.
Yeah.
Sean's bringing us home.
it. Yeah, and Michaela is honorary because
Yes.
it's so far away.
I'm like 6
Are
weeks
you-
from now.
September?
Now
What?
you don't know it's like
July?
a month from now.
June.
June? Okay.
Father's
All right.
Day.
I was
We
gonna
just
say, oh, we just talked
we
about
just
it.
talked
Okay.
this off mic.
I'm sorry. I can't see outside of 2 weeks ahead of me. I
Yes,
apologize.
She's just over a month away.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
all right.
exactly.
Yes.
So
We will
yeah.
celebrate accordingly.
Yeah.
We will.
Yeah,
Wait, huh? What?
Freak Show
All right,
birthday
so-
week. Yeah,
Okay, Sean, what did you pick tonight?
for your birthday.
For my birthday, I picked Devil.
Devil.
Devil
From the year.
From the year 2010.
2010.
So we're 15 years later.
Director.
Directed by John Eric Dowdle.
Then who produced it?
Produced. Well, we should do director first.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
let's
okay.
start.
Because
Have we
should-
seen something of his before?
I'm going to give it to
Okay.
you. I'm going to give it
Okay.
to you.
But usually
Director-
it's him and his brother. So was this like
there
a,
are Dowdle brothers. This
yeah.
is a separation. I think
Is
they
that
were.
like
I
a
think they were both
union
going to
thing?
do it, but it might be
like
at
a
this
credit
point.
on
Right, because
Okay.
they were both attached to do it, but only he ended up doing it.
Okay.
I have a theory here, though.
Ooh.
When director teams split up,
Yes, like
Usually-
the Safdies.
it usually
who have-
doesn't go well,
Who have
right?
just done it.
Well,
They are?
yeah, but the other one is credited as like a producer or something.
Yeah,
so he was
I think
there.
it's like Coen Brothers.
Yeah,
for the,
it's
you know,
just
for the
one of
longest
them
time,
can
one
take the
could only
credit.
produce, one could only get the credit for directing. I think that's what's happening here. What did I just say?
I have this theory that when directing teams split up, their solo projects are usually not as good as their team.
Oh yeah, and I brought up the Safdies because this.
Why are they doing this? Why are they splitting up?
I don't know, but what's the Safdie movie that's coming out with what's his name?
I don't know. I don't
don't
keep up
know.
with
I don't
them.
know the Safdies.
Yeah.
Uncut Gems and
I did not
Good
see that
Time
movie.
with
Did not see
Robert
either of those
Pattinson.
movies.
You
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
need to get it together.
But the
Yeah, no, I'm
Coen,
with you. What's coming out?
oh, fuck! It looks good.
but the Coens haven't done anything together in a long time, right?
Right.
Several years. And the John Wick guys split up.
Yeah, but you could say they're but when they split, well, I thought John Wick was a split. Weren't they the Crank guys or something?
No, John. I thought
I don't know. They were
David.
gamer.
Yeah. Well, there was a split with them at some point. I
Yeah.
don't remember when. And I feel like
One
theirs
did
has
Atomic
gone
Blonde, and
down.
The other one
Yes.
did like John Wick
Yes.
or something like that. Yeah, the Dowdle brothers, right?
Mhm.
Like I guess like you know them as the Dowdle brothers because they did the Poughkeepsie Tapes,
2007.
Oh, one of my favorite movies ever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
Poughkeepsie Tapes.
which is like
2008.
that's like a
Quarantine.
a found
Another movie I love.
Yeah, a remake.
2010. Devil. 2014. As Above, So Below.
I did
Yep.
not see that.
I saw that.
I don't know what No Escape was in 2015.
I saw that.
Any
Yeah,
good?
with Pierce Brosnan and Owen Wilson.
Oh, ew.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. In
That's
2018,
pretty tense.
Waco, the miniseries.
Oh, I watched that.
Okay.
That was
So
actually
they
good.
did right. It's good.
Yeah, that was
and
actually
then
good.
They followed up in 2023, Waco, the Aftermath. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
another version of it.
They, man,
I also
I-
made a movie called Dry Spell.
I really have a hard time like wrapping my head around the fact that this movie was done by the same people that did the Poughkeepsie Tapes and Quarantine, because those are two of the most horrifying movies I've ever seen. Like Poughkeepsie Tapes especially is just I want
like a
to
found
bring it, but
footage
it's
movie, right?
unpleasant to
It
watch.
truly is. Poughkeepsie, especially that one scene where it's just on her, and then you see the guy. Yeah, the guy
The
do
spider
this.
crawl?
Yes,
Yes.
come into this. Ugh.
I think about.
Did they?
I don't want to say too much. Never mind.
Yeah.
Did they write Poughkeepsie Tapes?
Yes.
I think so.
I think that was like the one that kind of got them noticed. I mean,
Yes.
the Poughkeepsie
They
Tapes
did, yeah.
played at
Okay.
like film festivals and developed a reputation. Was unavailable for you to actually
Yes.
see. I think legally for a while.
Right. Which, if you're familiar with the true crime story of Colleen Stan, the girl in the box, they take some
Yeah.
stuff from that for that
Oh,
movie.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
fucked up, and the most fucked up stuff in the
Is
movie
that the
does
girl in
not.
the box one,
yes,
or they- oh,
yeah, the most fucked up stuff in this movie doesn't even involve people dying. That's the thing. Like it's kind of a light body count movie, but
It is, but everything else is creepy.
So
as shit.
horrifying,
But
and
I
it's all found footage.
Like having seen that movie, I guess I wouldn't have seen the kind of technical prowess that's on display in their other movies.
Right,
You know? I mean,
right.
from Poughkeepsie Tapes, because it was, like a Blair Witch kind of
Yeah.
lo-fi movie. But everything else that you mentioned is very like polished. Like these are mid-budget, horror movies,
Yeah.
basically.
Quarantine is an exceptionally well done remake of Wreck
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Truly.
with
yeah.
Jennifer Carpenter.
Yep.
Mhm.
I like that one. But like Holly was saying, who produced this movie? M. Night Shyamalan.
yeah.
What a
This
twist!
Well, the twist.
Well, what-
It's funny that there's we'll get to that because there's a whole turn of Logan Marshall Green talking about a twist within this movie. We'll get to that. But yeah.
Where was M. Night Shyamalan?
Oh, that's what I was
at
going to look
this
up.
point?
Where he is at in this point because we're
Yeah.
in 2010.
After Earth is
That's ahead of
2012.
No, yeah, because
All right, hold on.
right
So
now,
he's in
his
director jail right
reputation
now.
no, it's still good, I think, at this point, because they gave him, like he was.
No,
heavily
wasn't
promoted.
Avatar: The Last Airbender right around this?
I'm looking.
Yeah, that, and,
That was like his most poorly received movie ever.
yeah, no, that
Okay,
critically, but that made a ton of money.
All right, so we have gone through. All right, let's say that Signs 2002, The Village 2004, Lady in the Water 2006. 2 years seems to be the thing. The Happening 2008, The Last Airbender 2010. So that is
Same
where
year.
we are
Okay, yeah, okay.
as far as getting into the producing. And he wouldn't direct his next movie till 2013, After Earth, which we did on this show.
Yeah,
Your fault.
I think that was the thing, though. I think like The Happening, like we sit there going like, oh yeah, The Happening, but I think somewhere around there, like Lady in the Water and The Happening, basically said, people don't want to see a movie if it has M. Night Shyamalan on it.
Yeah.
And that's why Last Airbender was like him doing something commercial,
Yes.
which I think it is like maybe one of the most profitable movies in his career, even though it's like god
Even
awful.
though everyone did not
Hates
But
like
it.
apparently
yeah.
the fans of that show must like it,
No, they don't. They
No,
hate it because
they
it's
hate
nothing
it
like
too.
their property.
No,
hated
everyone
it.
seems to. No, that's universally, I think, hated.
Yeah,
It was
every-
remade as like a Netflix
Yeah,
live action.
but
thing,
everyone,
right?
Yeah.
it made a lot of money because the fans went to see it, but then they
Right,
hated
exactly.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, yeah,
They were
exactly.
stoked and they
Yeah.
wanted to see it.
Yeah.
Right, and
then
that's
it
why,
sucked.
and then they're just like, well, we won't see After Earth.
Yeah, exactly. Well, but remember, After Earth, they hid his name from that.
They did.
It was all like,
They
no,
were
Will
going on
Smith
Will
is doing
Smith.
this, guys.
Will Smith and his son are doing
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Let's go watch
Yeah.
And he
that.
didn't have like the buyback in until Blumhouse like gave him
Right.
$1 million to go
The
make
Visit.
the visit.
Right.
Which, stay tuned, that will come
2015.
someday.
Yeah.
The visit
It
will
should.
come.
That
Yeah,
like
it
resurrected his career. Now he's M. Night Shyamalan
And then
again.
2016 Split, Glass in 2019. To the lowest levels. Fuck that movie.
Trap.
Old, which we did on this
Yeah,
show.
and Trap.
2021.
Yeah.
And then he latest one was
knocking
Trap.
the
He's done some
cabin and-
TV,
yeah,
knocking the cabin.
Yeah, and he also, didn't he produce Wayward Pines, the TV
He
show
did.
as well?
Wayward Pines was his.
There
yeah.
was another one he did too, like for
Servant?
Fox.
Servant,
Oh, that was for
yeah,
Apple.
that was Apple
yeah,
TV.
Wayward Pines
Servant.
was on Fox.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. Split. Yep. Yeah.
So this was, and I guess the thing that when you watch this movie, that it starts with a logo that says "The Night Chronicles 1." Like there's a big, like it makes a big deal out of the fact that this is the first
Big deal.
of a series,
Yeah.
right? And I remember him promoting this as like, okay, even though he didn't direct it, it's from a story that he
A
came up
story
with.
by him, written by other people, but produced by him, and a story by him.
And
This
he
was-
had three,
he
right?
had
That
three
they were.
in the chamber that they were going to produce based on ideas by him.
You know what they were?
Oh, yeah, I do. Keep talking.
Well, I looked them up. The second
Okay,
one
go for it. Fine,
was,
fuck you.
it was like
I should always know. Colin only asks the question if he knows the answer, which is very smart.
but I leave it open.
You
it's
do,
like,
you
hey,
do.
jump right in there. So it was a courtroom thriller, like a supernatural courtroom thriller. There was a director assigned
That
to
sounds
it,
way cooler than
and
this
it
movie.
never materialized. And the third one was apparently, from what I read, based on a discarded sequel idea to Unbreakable.
Yes.
Which then he
So it
later
was Split,
did as
yeah.
Split. So Split would have been theoretically the third one of these done by a different director. So those never materialized. I'm assuming because this one didn't make money,
It made
or
money.
It did. This
he was
movie
in
cost-
director jail and they
I
didn't
think
want another
so.
M. Night
And critically,
Yeah.
Shyamalan.
this was not done well. Commercially,
It made
was like
a
a
lot
$10
of money.
million budget, and it made $60 million, which is good enough for all of that. But critically, no one liked it.
Yeah.
It's like a 50 or maybe a little less on Rotten Tomatoes for whatever you take that worth. But yeah, it wasn't looked upon as good.
And there must have been like audience polling or something that said like, we don't. M. Night Shyamalan was not the reason that we went or something. I don't know.
I remember his name being all over the trailer, though, like from the mind of M. Night Shyamalan was a lot of,
Yeah.
but
Because when you could still use his name, or when they wanted to use his name anyway.
Yeah. And then it all went south. I think he like burned bridges. It like was
he switched production company.
Yeah.
Touchstone or something.
Yeah,
pissed
yeah.
somebody off.
Yeah,
The Lady
and then
in
he
the
went
Water
to
or Warner Brothers. No, he went to Warner Brothers.
He left one and went to the other because this was Universal.
He left Disney, went to Warner. Then he, I think, burned
he
a bridge
left
there,
Universal.
and then ended up at Universal. He's been at Universal ever
Has
since.
he? Okay, then he left Warner Brothers. Yeah.
That was
All
Lady in the Water.
Yeah. Well, that'll
that's
do
fine.
it.
He deserved that. Like,
Yeah.
I like, we've given him a lot of grace over the years. I feel like we've all kind of softened on him over time. But Lady in the Water, I will never let that go. Like, that is the one that I was like, I will not get that time back. And that felt like a long ass movie when I watched it.
It's a movie you can't defend. There's parts of it that you can like.
It's the
I like Paul
ego.
Paul Giamatti.
I was gonna say,
yeah,
I like
Paul
yeah,
Giamatti.
Yeah.
Paul Giamatti's
That's it.
great.
Paul
Yeah.
Giamatti's great.
That's good.
Like,
And
there
he is
is-
well cast in that movie. I feel like that
is.
role is appropriate for him.
And
but
there's one guy who only works out one of his
arm.
arms.
Yep.
Yeah.
That
I like
guy.
that
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But M. Night Shyamalan is also in that movie.
Yes.
and that was
I
the
think
part that we can never forgive him for.
not Shine Down, but the other group. There's a rock group who does the thing at the end. Yeah,
Yeah.
There's certain moments you can like about that movie, but you cannot defend that movie.
So this one comes at us. So I guess, I mean, what's the setup to this? So like, this is going to be like a kind of a, well, I guess I thought that it would be a kind of, modest budget movie, less than 10 million, but it isn't. It's
I mean,
like
10 million is
10
modest
million is a
budget.
lot of money and it buys you a lot of stuff.
But that's still a modest budget for.
For him.
Because we
That's-
say like
that's
it
modest.
feels like it's a movie that takes place in one location, but when you
Yeah.
watch it, it feels kind of expansive.
It feels more than 10 million. I won't
Yeah.
give it that. This just feels like maybe like a $30 million movie.
Yeah.
But
So
it is
that's
very
good.
cheap.
I mean,
Yeah.
they were able to ring the.
Production value is good. Yeah, they got everything they could out of it.
But it's like, when I think of these like a single setting movies, like when we watch Buried, right? Did we do that on the
We
show?
did.
We did.
We haven't done like Phone Booth or Cube or
No.
something like that,
Ooh, we
but
should do
this
Phone
one
Booth.
Yeah.
feels less claustrophobic in some ways than those even did, right?
Yeah,
What's the speaking of Tom Hardy, what's the one with him in the car that you guys like?
Lock is
Okay.
great.
Not to be confused with Locked,
Which just came out.
Which I've
which
seen
is
both.
also a one location movie. And,
Yeah.
No, everyone go watch Lock. It's fantastic.
And maybe
Yeah.
Tom Hardy in a car for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
it's
Mhm.
fantastic.
It's fantastic.
But it's amazing what you can do. I mean, that's like one of those things that directors or whatever put like a limitation on themselves. It's
Yeah.
like, can I pull this? Can I make a feature length film about someone or people in one location?
Yes.
But this, I think,
it's always
like,
a challenge.
It breaks that rule.
Oh
a
yeah, it
lot,
goes
you know?
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we don't even we get it in there, but yeah. So the cast for this movie, which I
Okay.
think we should go over.
All right.
We have Chris Messina.
Who
I like.
I like him, but I'm like, do
good.
I remember him from this?
I remember from everything. Like he
Such
just
as-
shows up.
He's been in so much.
He's in so much.
I remember him in Sharp Objects.
This Sharp Objects. He was in Air,
Oh fuck, he was
the
in
Nike shoe movie.
Yeah,
he's in
okay,
that.
I remember him in that. Yeah,
He's in the Newsroom, the Aaron Sorkin show that was on HBO for a
Okay.
while. He's in that. He's
the
in
Boogeyman.
He's in tons of shit. Yeah.
Oh god, that movie was so.
He's
fun.
on
No,
the,
I don't like that.
He's on the Mindy Kaling show.
Mindy Kaling show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He
He
just
was
shows
in-
up and he's good.
He was in Julie and Julia with
Was
Amy
he?
Adams and Meryl
When I
Streep.
see
Yeah.
him, for some reason, when I saw it tonight that he was in it, I'm like, oh, is that the guy from Lucifer? Is that just me? Is it a surface level thing?
Ask
Like-
Sean, he's the Lucifer
He is
expert.
not Lucifer.
Yeah.
I understand how you think he might be Lucifer.
Okay, yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot he was
Just
in
like-
Juror number 2.
He is in Juror number 2. Yeah.
Who was he
Yeah.
in Jury
Yeah.
number 2?
Eric Resnick, it says. I don't remember who that
Oh
was.
yeah, nope.
I was
Was
focused
he one of
on,
the cops or was he one of the jurors?
I think he was one of the other jurors.
He's one of the other jurors. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do
Okay.
not remember him in that movie.
No.
Mhm.
Okay.
But you know Chris Messina.
Yeah.
He shows up and
All right.
shit. We also have Logan Marshall Green. We had a Tom Hardy discussion before this episode started because he's
If you
his
can't hire Tom
doppelganger.
Hardy, you hired.
Yeah, Logan Marshall Green. Yeah.
So how many
But I
jobs
like
has
Logan
he
Marshall
lost
Green. And-
because Tom Hardy got it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know where I first saw Logan Marshall Green?
Prometheus.
No,
Spider-Man?
Way before that. No.
The OC?
There you go.
Oh,
A show that Holly
Yes.
binged not too long ago.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
He was in
Yeah.
the most infamous season ender
Yes.
And maybe
yes.
in one of the most infamous season enders in television.
One of the most
history.
controversial episodes. Yeah.
He's the brother, right?
He's the
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah.
He's Trey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was my.
It's great. He gets shot at the end of season 2.
Yep.
There's an Imogen Heap song
Yep.
that's in it. It's a whole thing. It's
That was
great.
my pandemic watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. Holly was going through it, texting us every day. It's like, It's like,
I
see.
know I'm 20 years behind, but
That was a rare
Yeah,
moment.
see.
That was a rare moment when Fox had a teen hit show. That never happened with Fox. Like
Oh my
it was
God.
always
I
CW.
have-
you know.
I've been reading.
Beverly Hills 90210.
That was on
and-
Fox?
Yeah, and
All right.
Oh, yeah, it was, yeah.
Melrose Place,
Gotcha.
and then it was
Yeah.
like then the
But
OC.
it was a big one. Like
It was a
I've
good
been-
20 years between those shows.
It is.
though.
I've been reading. There's an oral history by Alan Sepinwall, which is a great book, but
Nice.
it goes through everything and it's fascinating. So if you want to read the oral history of the OC,
Nice.
which is great,
Which
there's
I
a whole
do.
there's a whole chapter dedicated to just the music that happened in the
Oh
show.
yeah, because that was
which
the time when you would
Yes.
bands would take off by being featured on shows like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I
And
remember the little pop-up thing at the
Yep.
bottom of the screen. It was-
Yeah. Oh yeah.
One Tree Hill had soundtracks for every
OC
season.
2. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. It was a huge thing. That book is great.
Yeah,
Read
the
that book.
days. He was also in a movie that we watched on this show, Upgrade.
He was
Yes,
an upgrade.
he was an
I was
upgrade.
going to do the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon earlier. It's
Yeah.
just like, all right, well, we got Logan Marshall Green, who's in this movie with the guy who was married to Christina Hendricks, who was in a movie with, what's her name? Elizabeth Moss.
Elizabeth Moss.
Who
Okay.
was in The Invisible Man.
Yes.
Who was by Lee Wanell, who also directed Upgrade that starred Logan Marshall Green. There we
you
go.
Did it. Did it. Yep.
So there's that whole thing in there. So we got Logan Marshall Green. We got
Okay.
Which you said on the Upgrade episode. So that's the better Venom movie because
It is.
it's a Tom Hardy
Yeah, but also
lookalike.
starring Tom
It
Hardy,
has the
yeah.
Tom Hardy
Yeah.
lookalike
Yeah.
doing the Venom movie better. Yeah,
Right, yeah. Although
That is a weird moment in time.
It is.
it's truly a
It's
weird
like
Yeah.
Venom with an alternate Tom
Yeah.
Hardy.
Yeah, it is. It's weird.
Yeah.
we
But,
accidentally crossed dimensions on that one.
Yeah,
It truly
exactly.
was. Yeah, it was. It's a multiverse. That's a multiverse thing right there.
Yep.
Um,
That's from the better timeline. I want to go to the Upgrade timeline.
right, yeah. The guy who's married to Christina Hendricks is Jeffrey Arend as Vince McCall.
Is he still married to her?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't
She
think
can
so.
do better.
I didn't
Yeah.
recognize him from anything.
Super Troopers, which was
Yeah,
what we kept
Oh,
referencing.
shit.
and
Yeah.
it's like,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm freaking out.
He was in
Yeah.
500 Days of Summer too.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in things.
Yeah.
He does stuff. There's not another. Bokeem Woodbine is in this.
Yeah.
Who's
Who I
been in
love.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Season 2 of
Fargo? Yeah.
which is might be a perfect season of television.
I was
Watch
just
it.
talking to someone about that.
It's
yeah.
perfect.
I remember him because I saw Queen and Slim from a couple years ago, and he's
Queen
in
and Slim's
that.
great
Yeah.
too.
mhm.
Watch Queen and Slim. But yeah, the
I'm
Bokeem
gonna
Woodbine.
recommend. Yeah,
I-
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang was.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I'm also mentioning it because both Bokeem Woodbine and Logan Marshall Green played the Shockers in the Spider-Man in the second first Spider-Man movie, second Spider-Man movie, first
Really?
Spider-Man movie. Yeah.
They're both in the same.
Logan Marshall Green is like the Shocker, and then Michael Keaton vaporizes him,
Yeah.
and then makes Bokeem Woodbine
That's amazing.
the Shocker.
I love
Yeah.
that.
So it's a pretty funny scene, but they're both in it as the Shocker.
He was also in your favorite movie of 2021, Ghostbusters Afterlife, Sean.
Wait, what's
Bokeem Woodbine.
Oh, God, fuck. Well, no, Afterlife I like.
Afterlife you liked? Okay.
Yeah, no, Frozen Empire is fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
But didn't it-
Afterlife is.
I thought you didn't like Afterlife. I thought you didn't like any of them.
I understand.
I liked
no.
Afterlife.
I like. I understand
Gotcha.
if you don't like Afterlife.
I
but
haven't seen
like
any of
Afterlife.
them, so I don't. It's all wires crossed to me. I haven't seen any of these
Yeah,
movies.
no,
so.
that's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
Afterlife
Ghostbusters.
successfully scratched the nostalgia.
Gotcha.
It did. It
Yeah.
didn't. Yeah, I like it. Even if I think Colin was just like it did a little too much, which I agree with. But I liked it.
Not saying it didn't, but I still like it.
Right, still
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
So, Bokeem Woodbine, Matt Craven, who we know, who we were just
Yeah, it
Colin
was
were talking about.
Happy Birthday to Me
Happy
was the
Birthday
movie
to
that
Me,
we
yep.
saw. But
Yes.
yeah, he's been in a bunch of stuff like.
It's Google Matt Craven, you'll be like, oh yeah, that guy.
I was
He's
gonna
been
say
in
The
fucking
River Wild, but that wasn't the. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
there's another 6 degrees of separation
Oh.
with this movie. Bokeem Woodbine was in Wishmaster 2, Evil Never Dies, which will come someday. It's not as good as the first one, but we did the first one.
We did the first one. Okay.
which also had Jenny O'Hara in it, who is also in this movie.
Yeah,
yes.
As
She's been in everything,
the
too.
Old woman devil.
Yes.
Who I always, when I first saw this movie, I was like, that's Piper Laurie. It's not. For some reason, I just thought it was Piper Laurie. But
She's been in everything, though,
Yeah,
too.
she's been in a
Her
lot, too. She
credits
shows up.
just, yeah.
she's good in her roles.
Mm-hmm.
But that is most of the cast of
and
this
the
movie.
the girl from
Caroline DeVarnis?
yeah, she was in Drag Me to Hell briefly. And then
Was she?
no, sorry, she was in Hannibal.
She was in
Yes.
Hannibal. Oh yeah, that's right. Hannibal. She's
the
great
TV
in Hannibal.
show. Yeah.
She plays Dr. Bloom.
Yep.
She's watch
The other
Hannibal.
girl, whatever, what was her? The other actress. She was the one.
Jenny
One in the
O'Hara?
elevator?
Yeah, she's the one in the elevator.
Oh,
I guess.
Yeah, but Caroline Redd, she's great as Dr. Bloom in Hannibal. Go watch Hannibal.
And I
It's,
guess it just leaves. Was it Ramirez? He's like the other main cast member,
the security guard.
the security guard,
Yeah.
who I didn't recognize, but you're
He
probably
was-
going to
he
tell
was
me
in
he's in
Selena.
something.
Okay.
Oh, was he? Oh, all right.
He played her brother. Yeah.
Oh, he did. That's right. This part would go to
I know who you're talking
what's his
about.
name?
Yeah.
Usually, I would say. I don't know why he didn't get it for this.
I know who you're talking
who?
about. What's his name?
I'm not receiving this telepathic connection right now, so
From Ant-Man?
from Ant-Man
Yeah.
and from fucking everything.
Yeah. What is his name?
Oh, yeah.
Next Friday.
Oh yeah, I see him.
Shit, what's his name? Hold on.
Damn it, the funny guy from Ant-Man.
I love
Yeah,
this character.
I know, he's great.
Michael Pena.
Yes, Michael Pena.
yes.
This would be Michael Pena. I don't know why I couldn't think of it because I love Michael Pena.
I
but
love that
this
I
would-
knew that's who you're
Yeah, this would be Michael Pena.
It was,
It's almost obvious
He
that it should be
looks
him.
a lot like Michael
and
Pena.
that- yeah,
He
he
does,
looks
yeah.
like him.
So he is the Logan Marshall Green to of Michael Pena,
Yes.
basically.
Right.
Yes, yes.
All right, well,
100%.
okay, so is he the Tom Hardy or the Logan Marshall Green?
No, Michael Pena is the Tom Hardy. This guy is the Logan Marshall Green. 'cause
Yes,
that's the
yes,
sub-tier one.
exactly.
Yes,
Yeah,
the
okay,
B
that's-
list one.
I agree
yeah,
with that. I agree
yeah.
with that, yes.
Wasn't
All right,
Michael
so-
Pena in End of Watch or something?
He was in End of
yeah.
Watch.
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal. Yep, he was in Crash. He's
been in serious
fucking-
shit, yeah.
everything. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
I have no complaints about him. He was in our previous episode, Fantasy Island.
Yes,
He was
yes.
doing a terrible job.
Yeah.
That movie
But not
really
his fault.
stuck in your
It was
crud.
a big
and
like
I don't-
lead role.
There's so many
it
problems
comes up a lot.
with that movie that should have been better.
So so the premise of this movie is explained to us by this character,
by Michael
right?
Pena.
Yeah.
Yeah, over the
By
credits
not
and all
Michael
that.
Pena.
Yeah.
So, according to lore, right?
This starts with a white quote on black screen.
Yeah, from the Bible, right?
Yes, Proverbs,
about
whatever.
the devil
Peter.
chasing you or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to tell you.
We should say
Peter 5'8". I
We
remember
should-
that.
we should say Colin, Sean, and I have all seen this before. Holly has not.
I have not seen this.
So
Oh, that's right.
her perspective might be different than ours.
Yeah.
Because the question is, who was doing it and when did you figure it out? I guess is the question.
Yes.
You
would know. Sean,
Were you
nothing
like-
about this movie?
tip this, I guess.
I knew nothing about this movie.
Were you like,
Okay.
what? This is an elevator movie. Why is
I
it
thought
called
there
Devil?
was devils in it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when
Yeah.
I saw Prince of Darkness, and I'm like, you are going to
Where-
have the devil
yeah,
in
where
your movie
is he?
at some point.
Well, when
So-
you start with a Bible verse, I was like, okay, so devil.
So we'll get
Bible,
there. Yeah,
Get it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
coming.
That's
Yeah.
like a requirement. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you're just not going to
Feels
take
like
it
it.
seriously, right?
Right.
It did bother me that it
devil
just said
movie.
Peter and not First Peter or Second Peter, but that's
Right.
just my
But that's your background.
that's my craziness. coming
Right,
in.
that's you, not the movie.
So, according to a story, a bedtime story that this character
Don't
was
say that.
told,
Now
right?
we're just getting Lady in the Water.
Yeah, I'm
shit.
triggered by M. Night
Yeah,
Shyamalan
don't say,
saying
you
bedtime
can't say
story.
bedtime story and not have be triggered by Lady in the Water.
Also, this
shit.
is the worst fucking bedtime story to ever
Yeah,
tell.
who
Why
tells this
trying
to your
traumatize
kids?
your
Yeah.
children? What
So,
the fuck?
Every once in a while, the devil appears on Earth, assumes the
For fun.
personality of it wanders around as a human being and
Claiming
traps
souls.
people that he's going to take to hell.
Yep.
Bad people.
Yep.
And
Because he likes
tortures
to
them
have fun.
and then drags them to hell.
A cat plays with his food.
Yeah. But
Yeah, and then-
first, it's always the devil's appearance is marked by a suicide. That's also
Yes,
important.
which is how we start this movie.
Yes.
Which that automatically puts a bad taste in my mouth for this movie. Like, what is the connection they're trying to make here between suicide and the devil? That it's an unholy thing to take your own
Yeah,
life.
it's a
So
sin. It's
see,
all-
don't love
Yeah.
that attitude, you know.
Yeah,
but
Yeah, but I mean, if you're going with
but
the
famously,
mythology
like,
of it.
Right.
suicide means you go to hell.
right,
Yeah.
but it's
It's
this
a
is-
big thing in Catholic.
I know it is. I know, but I hate horror movies that come from a place of moral superiority. You know,
But they're just if it's a Catholic, like a religious horror movie, which it does kind of have that thing.
it's
They're
for
just-
most of it, it's not.
Who's more
though.
morally superior than the Catholics?
But for most of this movie, it's not about religion. It's about these 5 people in an elevator.
Yeah, but
but-
isn't it threaded throughout the? It's about the devil.
Yeah, I know, but these people in the elevator are not working within the machinations of the devil's rules. They don't know that's happening to them. They're just 5 strangers in an elevator. I just don't. Okay, for a horror movie, I bought a ticket because I want to see some depravity and indulge in it. Right? I don't want a lecture. I don't want to be told that all these people deserve it because of X, Y, and Z. I don't. For me personally, I don't enjoy that in a horror movie. I don't like it in Saw movies. I don't like it in any horror movie. I don't like when a horror movie tries to preach at me like these people deserve it because they're bad people. We're all flawed. We're all humans. We all make mistakes. That's part of life. And I just don't like the moral attitude of this movie.
Is there?
I think it all comes in like how you take it. Like I obviously have a religious background, but when I see stuff like this, to me, it's almost like watching a fairy tale. Like I have a separation from it because I know that it's bullshit. Like, and especially since it's M. Night Shyamalan, like he
trades in that,
right?
Yeah.
He tells bedtime stories. So to me, this is like just another bedtime story, like with a religious lore.
Yeah.
So I see it as like a.
They're like, we're going to go.
It's just not
scary,
enjoyable
so we're
for
gonna-
That's
right.
fair.
And the more I
That's
see
fair.
it, the more it feels like.
I
that,
understand
but
it. I just
agree,
don't enjoy it.
Where
That's
it's just
fair.
Like, Michaela
I don't
would be
like
very
being
upset with her
lectured.
parents. Be like, "Why are you telling me this story? I'm trying to go to sleep."
Yeah, I don't like a message movie. Or this feels like it would be Tipper Gore's favorite fucking horror movie. She would love that all these people are getting quote unquote getting what they deserve.
Yeah, Tipper Gore
which
was really a signpost in with history.
I mean, she changed the landscape of pop culture forever.
She did.
You have her to blame for any sort of regulation on this stuff and censorship. So, I mean, she just the idea that like these people get what they deserve when like I don't think the punishment fits the crime for all these people.
Right.
Well, I guess that's the thing.
It's a wide gamut of quote unquote like
But they
wrongness here.
But they want to just like blame the devil and his indiscriminatory like
Well, it's
doesn't
not
matter. You did something
indiscriminatory.
wrong. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
the
no,
level.
but it's not indiscriminatory. The devil is like totally targeting them for.
That's
I
the
guess
problem
those
is
are
that he's not
reasons
indiscriminatory.
that we don't understand going into the movie. So this is like kind of how the movie. You're going to find out that like yes, all the people who are randomly in this elevator are actually I guess not connected. I guess they're connected by their
Connected through
moral
badness.
failings. Yeah.
Which I'm sorry, being a gold digger is the same as being a murderer. I don't think so.
Well, she blackmailed people.
Yeah, blackmail is not the same as murder.
But it's the devil, so it's just what does he see in that elevator?
Avarice.
Sin.
I know,
Yeah.
Sin.
but
Sin.
man,
and that's it.
Yeah.
I know, but man, saying someone deserves to get
but there's
murdered
no-
because
there's
they
no
blackmailed
level,
someone
there's
is
no level
crazy.
to it. It's
Yeah.
just sin.
Last I checked, that was not punishable by death. You know,
But the weird thing is to me, like when whenever I look at this kind of stuff, it's like, is the devil the one who punishes you for your sin? Like I thought it was God punishes you for the sin,
exactly.
and the devil's like, come to me and sin more, But that's why it is kind of interesting that this movie, it's like the devil comes to earth to punish those people who he's going to tear apart forever in hell anyway.
They refer to her as a whore at one point too. Didn't care for that. I was like, oh, okay.
Who
Like
did? In the what?
I don't. It spoils things if we get to it. We'll get to it when we get to it.
Also, this movie is not subtle in any way. If it's gonna, there's no subtext. If it's going for it, it's just gonna say
It's got
It's all
88
text.
minutes. Damn it!
It's
It
got-
is
yeah,
going
no,
No,
right
Colin,
through it.
it's 80 minutes.
80 minutes.
and it has no time for bullshit. Like, or we don't care if you think this is over the top. We don't think if this is heavy handed. We're going for it.
Yeah.
This is what this movie.
I bet our
I kinda
episode will
like
be almost
that,
as long
though.
as the runtime of this movie.
I know.
Probably.
I did kind of like that though. That it was not like I mean maybe simple, but everything came together and was like everything kind of fit, and you're like, oh okay, you feel that you were
Really?
the story
I don't
by
know
the
if I
end.
feel that way.
I think it depends on how you feel. Being talked to. If they're just going to tell you like this is what it is and it's nothing else but this, because these are characters who are whenever they speak they are telling you exactly what is happening.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no
Yeah.
room for you don't have to think.
Yeah, no, there's no
You don't have
character
to think.
development
That's it. Yeah,
really.
you don't
It's
have
like,
to.
okay, I
right.
get who
no
you
character
are.
development. You don't have to think about what it means. Right? They're going to tell you exactly what this movie wants you to think this movie is.
So it's like a thriller structure.
Yeah.
Okay, so somebody jumps off of a big tall skyscraper in Philadelphia, and 5 people get into an elevator in that building.
Yep.
And the elevator stops somewhere between floors.
Yep.
And so I think quite quickly, right? They call the cops. Oh, that's because so you got a group of people stuck in an elevator.
Yep.
We have the security guard.
Well, their cops are there because of the suicide. They're investigating the suicide
That
that
is the-
happened,
that is
which
the thing.
leads to that never really comes back around. It's just the signal that the devil's there, I guess.
Yeah.
We don't know who actually committed suicide,
Nope.
except they had a rosary and said something like, I feel the devil's footsteps, or,
Yep.
So there's a security guard who appears to be claustrophobic. There
Wilkie
is
Woodbine, yep.
a mattress salesman.
Is there anybody slimier?
Yeah,
I
slimy mattress.
have a conspiracy theory. All those mattress firms are fronts for something. Have you seen how many fucking mattress firms are around in this world? Go through the suburbs. They are on every block out there.
I think we've talked about this before. I've been to intersections where there are, out of 4 corners, there are 3 mattress firms.
Yes.
I've
It's
seen it.
weird.
I've seen it with my own eyes.
Yeah. And how often
exists.
do you buy a mattress in your
Never.
life?
Oh, sorry.
Like two, 3 times max.
Within the last 15 years, 2.
Yeah, that's and I would feel like for some people it's probably a lot to buy 2 in 15.
It might
It
be,
depends
yeah.
on what
Yeah,
you
but
get.
then-
But if you listen, if
But-
you don't flip it, it's going to be
Yeah,
more.
yeah,
But
he
think
tells us
two
why
more
we should.
common. Yeah.
2 for yourself, but other people in your household.
I live. By
Yeah, I was
Well,
like,
okay, but at some
I'm
point,
alone?
like, you got to buy.
there's one bed in my house.
So
I'm alone.
I bought one bed in the past 15 years. Yeah.
You must flip often.
then there's a
Can't flip mine.
there's a woman.
No, can you not? Oh, do you rotate?
Rotate.
Okay,
Yeah, you
I
gotta
I
rotate.
can't flip
I
mine.
gotta
either.
rotate
I
mine,
rotate.
too.
I
Remember when I
rotate.
texted you guys the other day
Yeah.
that I rotated it?
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
Because I felt like both the weakest
Right.
and strongest
Yeah.
person in the world.
Yeah.
It's a no matter what mattress you have, it is a job.
Yeah,
It's
but I'm just saying that
Shit's
people
heavy.
aren't buying mattresses often enough to warrant that many mattress firm
I
locations.
agree.
It is a front for something.
Probably.
Telling you now.
Drugs.
Who else is in the elevator?
Who did we establish already? We
The
have.
security guard and the slimy mattress salesman.
All right, so we get security guard, slime master salesman, Logan Marshall Green, who's a mechanic.
Okay.
We also have an older woman who we don't know exactly what she's doing,
Okay.
but she's an older woman with red hair
Yep.
in a suit. We also have a younger woman who is she seems businessy. She's got a nice blouse and a jacket and
She's
everything.
going to meet with a lawyer.
Going to meet with a lawyer, which we learn everything.
Oh, and at the beginning when she walks in, she doesn't check in because she just waves a security guard and says, "Oh, they know me,"
right.
which comes back later on.
Right.
So,
So
and the
they're
security
all-
guard, Poughkeepsie Woodbine, who
Yep.
it's his second day, first day,
First
he's a
day.
temp.
He's a temp.
He's a temp.
Yep.
Yep.
So this establishes that, like, okay, we're going to have backstories that we're going to have to fill in. What are all these people doing in this elevator?
Right. We're gonna have to
And
figure
they
out
all
the
have-
connections that led
Yeah,
them here.
but I like that. You know,
I do
like it
too.
actually did kind of do all this stuff. Matt Craven's like the building engineer.
No, he's security. Matt Craven is security.
He said okay.
He said
That's right. The building engineer works for him.
Yep.
The other guy, Ramirez, he's also security.
Yeah, he's like the new guy in security, or like the deputy security.
Yeah, but he's the religious guy,
Yes.
right? So he immediately is.
He's
like,
also the guy narrating the
Diablo.
movie. He's the guy narrating the movie.
yes.
You tell him the bedtime story.
He is. Yeah.
Yep. So he's sensitive to the supernatural, and then Chris Messina then is brought in because somebody. Yeah, they're outside looking at him. And they're like, "Where did this body come from?"
Right, because they end up finding a body on top of a was it a cleaning truck. For some reason,
Bread
I think it's
truck.
a bread. Is it a bread,
Bread truck,
Okay,
yeah.
I keep thinking it's a bread truck. It's a bread truck. Maybe it's because the guy was cleaning the floor beforehand. But yeah, the guy jumped onto a bread truck.
Well, bread comes back later because bad things happen when he's near. We got to demonstrate by
Oh, that was
dropping a piece
okay.
of bread on the ground
Oh,
with
right,
jelly
all
on
right.
it.
So let's talk about this scene
Fucking
right
stupid.
now.
Okay, go for
This is when everybody's basically the movie takes place primarily, it feels like, in 2 locations: in the elevator with the people and with the security guards trying to talk to them through a they've got like a
one-way
camera
mic. Yeah.
yeah.
but yeah they
The mic on the other side doesn't work.
right
So you can talk to them, but they can't talk to you.
right convenient. But so as they're watching this, right, Ramirez begins to think that, like, it's the devil. I think he sees like a devil face on the monitor, and that was the thing that sets
he
him
is
off.
tipped off at the suicide. And
Wasn't
then,
it the devil face? He was like, the
I think-
actor like
I
sells
think
it.
it was, I think it was both. I think it was the devil face and the suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he demonstrates to the non-believing, because I guess that's the most ridiculous scene in the movie, right?
Right.
Where you have
in a movie where M. Night Shyamalan was on set going, this is very serious.
yeah.
That he's flipping this bread. This means something.
Well, he's got so the cop is like,
And that's what
rational,
makes this goofy.
rational cop, right? And this guy is like, it's when he's near, strange
Everything
things
goes wrong.
Well, he doesn't lead with that though. Like, you could lead with that, but he doesn't. He's like,
No
Why
one
don't babies hit their head when they fall near a table?
so
And you're
fucking
like,
stupid.
what
They
the
do.
fuck
No one
are
talks.
you talking about?
No one talks normal in this way. This
Yeah.
is M. Night Shyamalan dialogue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very much
for
so.
sure.
It's like, what are you talking about?
And you
Like,
can tell.
How come that never happens? And then he's like, hold on. And he grabs a piece of toast.
Right. If I walked in a room and said, babies never hit their heads when they're running.
I'd be like, yeah, they do.
They do all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
If that was my
Yeah, they
intro
do.
line, you'd be like,
Okay, and
first of all, you'd be like, I'm listening.
yeah,
Yep.
But you're also like, you're wrong.
yeah,
Yeah.
Because I've seen it all the time.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Like, fuck, you talking about?
yeah.
So then he takes his piece of toast, which is covered with jelly, and he throws it into the air, and it lands jelly side down. Now,
And he gasps.
Yeah.
when
Yeah,
it-
because this is the deciding moment. This happens, and he's like, the devil's here.
Yep, yep.
That's it. That is the seriousness
That
on
is-
which this movie operates.
Yeah.
How you perceive it is different, but this is what the serious level in which we're operating now.
These are those moments, though.
I mean,
and
I've
thought-
dropped toast, and it
Yeah.
Many
has
times.
I mean,
landed.
that's
Well,
the heavier side. It's
Yes.
got
Yes.
jelly
All right,
on
yes.
it.
So next time, watch how it lands, Holly.
It landed jelly side down.
That means the
Okay.
devil was near you.
I don't.
Right. How do you feel about your life?
It actually tracks. Actually, totally tracks.
The explanation being when he's around, everything goes wrong.
Everything
Kids
goes wrong.
will hit their heads on the end of
That actually
tables when they
explains a lot.
fall, and
They
toast
should have
will
cut to
fall.
a kid hitting his head. That's the only way I was going to go with this line of logic.
But I guess I was
Christmas Eve, his kid hit his
appreciating that, you know, usually when M. Night Shyamalan writes these movies and these scenes, they seem more ridiculous. And this movie was without it until this moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. I remember seeing this in the theaters and
Holly with the
deflating.
Alzheimer.
Just deflating when that devil face popped up on the screen. I was like, oh no. Like, I knew there was no going back after that because it
Is
was
that
just
what-
too
that deflates
goofy.
you? It wasn't
yeah.
clear enough where it
Because it
let me
wasn't-
down.
Yeah, but it's you're seeing, okay, there's a devil thing on the video
Right.
screen.
Yeah,
that
right.
nobody
Because
else
they're
can
trying to go
see.
for like it could go either way.
Yeah.
is what they're going for.
Yeah, I would have preferred it held its cards a little closer to the vest for a little bit longer than
Yeah,
just be
sure,
like,
yes,
ooh,
yeah.
the devil face on the
No, they're going
CCTV.
right
Yeah,
for it.
exactly.
It's just-
Well,
he's
it
like,
does-
"Ay, Dios mío."
Yeah.
It does a lot of things that I think do you have to do? I don't know, but filmmakers rely on them where it's like, you know, at one point a character who's in the elevator, like the lights blink off and she sees everyone dead around her. The
Yeah.
video screen glitches and shows everyone dead, you know, that kind of stuff
Right.
to kind of keep punching up like, ooh, spooky. I
Right.
don't know.
Again, we
I
are
read it that
we are
way.
going shorthand for everything
Yep.
in this
Right.
movie. It's like whatever gets
Do it
us to
fast.
that quick. That's
Yeah.
what we're doing.
I guess I expect. I mean, the movie's called Devil. You know, the devil's going to be in it at some point.
Right.
But I think I expected more of like hell is other people kind of thesis
Mm.
of this movie of like we can't trust each other because we're all in this thing, and you know it was the devil turning them all against each other kind
Right.
of thing. Which
Where you
it's-
wouldn't necessarily see the devil.
that or maybe it just wouldn't be so literal as like here's a devil mask. Like it'd be one thing if they saw the mask pop up and it like just a blink of an eye and then you didn't see it again, but it is like literally they go back and they see it and they hold it
See,
on screen.
I
It's
never
a little
saw
much.
anything in that image.
Really?
No,
There's
I-
a face.
It
there.
was
Yeah,
right
there's-
in the middle of it.
Maybe I
Yeah.
wasn't paying
Face.
attention.
Yeah.
Like an underlit face.
Yeah,
I
it's-
missed it. All right. I think I was
pretty clear.
I think no. All right.
Yeah.
I think I was looking too into it and didn't like back up.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I missed it.
You never
was in
saw the
the-
sailboat either, did you? And the seeing
The
eye
magic
posters.
eye.
Never. No. Always had a problem.
I
Never
didn't
saw it.
either. I
was
didn't
just
either.
like,
I could never see
no.
it.
I was like, I don't see what you guys are seeing. I was like, maybe.
So I guess we should also establish, okay, Chris Messina, right,
Indeed.
is seen at the beginning talking to his AA sponsor.
Yes.
He's 90 days clear because 5 years ago,
5 years ago.
his wife and child were killed in a car accident.
Yeah, this timeline should be shorter, it feels
Yes.
like.
Okay.
Especially because he's only recently gotten into rehab and everything.
Well, he's been drinking for
Yeah.
5 years.
He should be dead then. Like he said, I went to a hotel one night and almost drank myself to death. Well, all right, in the 5 years,
Maybe that was more recent.
still has a
He's
job.
like, okay, I gotta. Yeah, as a police
Yeah.
officer,
Well,
a
it seemed-
detective.
It
Yeah.
seemed like this should be a shorter timeline.
Yes.
Yeah,
getting
you figure
to
he
where he is,
wouldn't
but
be
whatever.
able to work, but
right.
okay.
Well, again, I've never had that happen to me, so I don't know how to deal with that grief.
Yeah. That is wood, so it works.
Yep.
Like you'd be surprised how alcoholism can be in your life and you still are a functioning person.
That's very true.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he I guess, has an anecdote about this is that the driver who killed his wife and kid left a note on a like a tow truck receipt or something like that.
Car wash
receipt.
Right. There's no subtlety to this reveal of that. It's like, but when someone killed my wife and child 5 years ago, like all the dialogue in this movie is very direct and specific. There's no subtlety.
Brevity,
to it.
man.
We're gonna tell you
an hour
exactly
20.
what it is. They're not waiting around.
So, and he keeps this as a memento, right? So we're like, okay.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Especially since he's in recovery and everything.
He needs therapy.
Yeah.
Oh no, definitely. Yeah. So like keeping this thing at the point he's at is not. It's not a good idea, right?
No, but he hasn't
No.
moved on. But that
You don't keep it
is
in your wallet.
No.
is this
That's messed up.
Is this
Right.
the overall arc
Especially
of
throw
the
it out
movie?
to message to other people.
Yes, it is
randomly.
because the end of the movie
Yes.
answers a lot of these
He's
things.
the main character of
Does
the
he
movie.
just do that to everybody? He's like, man, you're kind of off.
That's what it is.
Man, it seems like you're having an off day. He just like whips it out.
Yeah. Well, I
Read
think
this note.
Sir, you didn't you were a little short on your bill. We need another $1. It's like, hey, look, boom, and then he just throws out the thing. My wife and child died 5 years ago. Yeah, that feels like
It's like
what this is.
he's like a ref with a flag on the field, like just throwing
it no matter what's happening. Yeah.
The pity card.
Hey, you cut me off in traffic. Boom. My wife and child died 5 years ago. Here's the receipt from that.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
that
think
feels like what this is.
I think Chris Messina is supposed to be the God figure in this movie.
Really?
Think
God
about
figure.
think about the end of the movie.
But the God figure, what do you mean?
What do you mean the God figure?
Well, I can't talk about it without spoiling the end of the movie, so
Spoil
we
it.
can say
I mean,
okay.
we're
so
41 minutes in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it, go
So
Fine, give me
Logan Marshall Green is the guy that was driving the car that hit his wife and son. We see that in a flashback with a bad Dexter wig. Like when they did the teenage Dexter flashbacks, is what Logan Marshall Green's doing. He says, but it's okay because I forgive you. And Logan Marshall Green gets to live, even though he maybe did the worst thing out of anybody in this elevator.
Yeah.
Hit and run,
And
killed two people.
Chris Messina gives him the forgiveness
Yeah.
to wash away his sins. And then the movie ends.
But that
that's-
doesn't make him the God
But
character.
that's
I see. It's the message that the forgiveness or whatever. That's his transformation, right? For hating this guy for all these years.
But Logan Marshall Green gets to live and everyone else doesn't.
Well, it's a combination of things because the theme of the whole movie is revealed that
But that's not why he lives.
no, it's because he forgives himself and he accepts.
He accepts.
He accepts responsibility. That's
Not
what I meant,
forgiveness, he
Not
accepts.
forgiveness.
Yeah.
He accepts responsibility for. That's the theme of the whole movie.
Yes.
It's like
Yeah.
people do shitty things, but accepting that you
Right.
were responsible
Right.
is
because
what
none of
makes,
the other
is what
characters
makes people
in
different.
the elevator have accepted what
No.
they've done.
No,
Right.
they're
Is
all-
that not confessing your sins?
Well, but he does. He actually.
I know.
But they,
That's what
they
I'm saying.
didn't.
But no, I'm saying that for my analogy of Chris Messina being the God character, like Logan Marshall Green confesses his sins and then gets saved. But at the end of this movie,
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By Christmas.
but yeah, exactly. And then Chris Messina gives him forgiveness.
His forgiveness
Yes.
is the God. Yes.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, that is correct.
Yeah. Logan Marshall Green says in the elevator, "I hit these people in this car,"
Yeah.
and he doesn't know that that's Chris Messina at
Right.
that point.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah.
So he's just admitting it for himself, and there's a point too where he even has a turn where he's like telling the devil character, "No, take me, I'm ready to go, I deserve
right.
it," and he's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
only one that comes to that conclusion in this
Yeah.
movie.
Yes.
Yeah, which is why they all die because none of
Right.
them accept responsibility.
Right. Mhm.
Yeah.
But they didn't know. I mean, that's the thing.
They didn't- they weren't given the chance, yeah.
The
Yeah.
chance.
Yeah.
But yeah, because there's that reveal to him, which is which my favorite part of the movie.
But I think the point was that like they weren't going to be given a chance. He just happened to take his chance.
I think that's
Yeah.
it. Like he
Yeah.
wasn't also going to be given that because she was going to take him too.
a
He
hidden-
just did it.
It was a hidden loophole that he found that
Right.
no one else knew to
So
look
why
for.
didn't
Right.
the devil kill him? Because he took
because he accepted
responsibility.
it.
So the devil's here just to teach a lesson.
I wasn't entirely
but I
clear
don't-
on that myself.
Yeah.
No.
Because she says something like, "I would have loved to have you" or something. So why can't she act
Because
on that?
because the other characters were still they're still selfish, they're still not accepting responsibility, and that is sinful in the devil's eyes, and that is something that they,
Right. So the devil can't kill someone after they've taken responsibility?
Yes.
Well,
That movie doesn't establish that.
Yeah, because I don't know if that's assumed. Again, this could be. I don't know if M. Night Shyamalan is Catholic because I know there's something about existing in a state of grace. Like maybe the fact that
He's
confessed.
religious. His first movie,
Praying with anger, yeah.
Praying with
Yeah.
anger, yeah.
So maybe that may, put Logan Marshall Green into a state of grace, in which case the devil is like, crap, I can't take you now.
I think
Like
they're just
Constantine.
Accepting your sins. and-
I think they're just assuming the audience understands the concept of the devil and God and religion, and that if you
it's very
if you ask for forgiveness kind of thing, they're accepting.
It is very black and white, very this or that. Like if I take responsibility for my sins, I will be forgiven.
Yeah,
and that is it.
They're assuming the audience knows these rules.
Yes.
There was another bit that happened in that exchange as the devil's talking to him, and he's like, take me instead of her, this victim who's dying.
Stop saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's my favorite part of the movie because that's the only part of the movie that like scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, but I was like, is there like a rule here
That's
where
what
if
I'm
you
saying,
say like, take me instead of her, the devil has to do it or something like that? Because the devil reacts like, stop saying that.
Because it's leading to his acceptance of it's his fault.
Yeah.
And that's it. Again, you don't have to go deep on this. That is it. He is accepting that he is at fault, which he hasn't done up until this point, and none of the other characters have done, which is why they're dead. Yeah. But he's doing it, and the devil doesn't want him to do that. The devil wants his soul, and if he is accepting that he is at fault, he did something wrong, and he acknowledges it and asks for forgiveness, which is basically what he's doing, then the devil is not able to take his soul at that point, and that's why she says, "Stop saying that."
Okay.
Yeah.
That is a simpler explanation. I was thinking maybe it was like some obscure rule where like you throw down a bunch of matchsticks in front of a vampire.
Again, in a movie where we're just going for simple and straightforward and just very...
He confessed his sins. He's absolved.
That's it.
But but for how much voiceover there is in this bedtime story, they couldn't drop in a line about how the devil can't take you if you say
you
something.
Would think,
like
right?
There's so much voiceover in this movie explaining the story.
But
like,
did they make like some kind of half-hearted attempt at that with the scene where Chris Messina like begrudgingly turns to Ramirez and like, okay, if I was actually having this conversation, which I'm not,
right?
How would you save these people from this situation? And he's like, well, they would have to. Did he say something?
I thought he said you can't.
They would but he said something about they would
all
have
die.
to.
I think,
everybody lies to themselves. They have to admit who they are.
This movie is doing everything.
That's the problem. Is it's playing both sides, so it can come out on top, and it doesn't.
So they're doing that, but he's like, but only if he did. Whatever.
Well, yeah, but
he said, how do these stories usually end? I think, and he said they all die, and then he asked the other follow-up question about like hypothetically, if
how would they get out of it?
And that's when he says, they have to take responsibility for what they've done.
Right. Yeah.
But I think
it is covering all ground in this movie, which may not be fair depending on how you view this.
Well, as we back the movie up, then as you're stuck in this elevator, strange things start to happen.
People start to
the girl that we find out is the blackmailer. She ends up getting attacked or something cut.
Like
there's only
bite marks. It's like bite marks.
Yeah, there's only 4 people in the elevator. This happens like the power fluctuates every once in a while in the dark.
You hear things moving quickly within the elevator,
and she's cut, and she's like, "One of you fuckers did it," you know.
We expect these slimy mattress salesmen.
Yep. So there's
why are demons always biting people? That happened in Paranormal Activity too. She had like a big bite mark on her.
The flesh is so delicious. I'm not kidding.
They just want to bite.
I think so.
He's not kidding. He's a cannibal.
Like, it's good, and so they go for that.
Yeah.
Okay, Sean is a cannibal.
Just take one bite and walk away.
I am Army Hammer.
Yes. Oh, don't say that.
So has he replaced Hannibal Lecter now? Is the
No.
Okay.
Don't give him that much credit.
No.
So the power. So then you get a lot of dynamic about like who's doing it. You know. So Holly's sitting here watching the movie, and she's like, "Okay, which one of them? Which one? Who?
Do we ever like? Do you ever feel like it's not the devil and it's somebody within the elevator committing these murders? Did you ever feel that watching this?
I knew exactly who it was.
So
did you?
I did.
Well, because
or how and why?
Okay.
Like, I want to delve into this.
Because. Okay,
well, because there's the moment when fake Michael Pena says that the devil takes the form of a human.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, someone in this elevator is the devil.
Yeah.
Okay, but we click through the characters then. She gets stabbed in the back, and then the mattress salesman ends up stabbed in the neck with a piece of glass that exploded from a mirror. So we're like,
and all this stuff happens in the dark. We only see the aftermath.
Right.
All the killings happen when the light's out and we just hear noises which I guess, it's a movie elevator. I get, it'd be hard to shoot like an action sequence in small spaces, but
and it's all purposeful to like misdirect
for the whodunit. Yeah.
And also,
yes.
Because the devil's in there causing all of this.
Yeah.
Right.
The devil wants
Right.
the confusion and the chaos.
Right.
Okay, so, and that's what I guess, Holly's saying is you take it at face value. One of these characters is the devil.
Right.
Yep.
So you're just going
In
with
disguise.
that. One of
But
them is the devil.
man,
But
the
it's
way
not
it
the
gets
mattress
there.
salesman because he's dead. And then the next, the kindly old lady, grandma, ends up hanged, right? So it's not her.
Did that throw you?
No,
Okay.
I knew it was her.
Okay.
Okay, so
How? Because
How?
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 I don't
that
believe
I don't
moment-
either. I need to know how you
All
put
right,
this
all
together.
right. So I have to call into question your faith
Yeah.
and see where your doubt came in.
First of all, she was the only one that no one suspected.
well,
the
because
little
she's
old
the
lady.
little old lady.
The little old lady, yeah.
And you're like, the little old lady's the
Yeah.
devil. So they kill her.
So
Yeah,
obviously,
So
right. That's
two
the one you
in,
look for.
She
Exactly.
is
Yeah.
hanged.
I agree.
yeah,
The devil killed her, you think?
I knew she was going to.
Scott Foley was in a coffin, dead in Scream 3, and ended up coming back to be the killer. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah.
Because I'll
Okay,
always go
so-
back to Scream 3.
I was like, well, if it's the devil, then death doesn't mean anything, so she's going to come back.
Okay, I guess I was
but
like,
this
well, shit,
movie
it's not
cheats
her.
at this, though. I hate this.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate this.
All right, that is a problem. The movie cheats.
It does.
It cheats.
And I mean, that's an M. Night Shyamalan thing, too. He's always cheating.
Right.
but
He's
like all
always cheating.
All mystery
I'm looking at you,
thrillers
Josh
cheat.
Hartnett, being in a limousine and somehow escaping in trap.
Yeah. and
cheats.
doing a full change of clothes while escaping.
And a full
too.
change. All right, so
Yeah.
yeah,
He does
and that's
cheat a lot of things.
maybe that's the thing I hate about
Yeah.
late
Yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan. He
Yeah.
fucking cheats, and people just fucking accept
And he
it.
expects us to, like, not pay it and to
He
not
expects
notice
us
it.
to accept it.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
That
yeah.
is my problem
Yeah.
with late M. Night Shyamalan.
That's where I turned on this
He's a
movie when
fucking
I
cheater.
first saw it. Is when she wasn't really dead. I was like, oh no, you can't have a whodunit and then be like, okay, so it's not that person. They're ruled
Right.
out, and then be like, just kidding.
Right.
It was them.
Cheater.
Because of the supernatural.
I don't like that either.
Especially because she was the third.
Devil.
Yeah, but
I
that's
still
what
don't
he's
like
doing.
it.
Because it's the
devil wouldn't
supernatural.
play fair.
Right.
Yeah.
Agreed.
You got that,
Still,
and you got the supernatural
we're an
can
audience
bring a
watching
dead
a
character back
movie.
to life.
It doesn't feel, but you also got
Especially
to
because
realize
she's the third
yeah,
one to go, so
Yeah.
it's like there's still more people after that.
Yeah,
So it's
the
like,
devil
you
would
know.
cheat, but also like that's cheap
there's
to
literally
us.
a Bible verse that says the devil has come to lie, cheat, steal, and destroy, and I have come to give life to the fullest.
I know, but
that's
man,
the
it's just-
verse.
it's not satisfying as a movie viewer,
it's
though.
not.
But like I'm coming into it saying I'm about to watch an M. Night Shyamalan movie about the devil. All of these rules that you're complaining about, I was like, yeah, it's an M. Night
all
Shyamalan
out the
movie about the
window.
devil.
Yeah. It's all out the
I mean,
window.
It's
Right.
it's a fairy tale. That's what I'm saying. It's a fairy
Right.
tale.
I know, but it's
Some
just
of it
that
is
he
awful.
wants it both ways all the time, and it's so fucking frustrating
Yeah.
as a movie viewer to do that.
It
you
is.
know?
It is. True. I can't argue with what you're
Yeah.
saying. It's still
It's just not
frustrating.
satisfying. Yeah.
Still
I
frustrating.
came in ready to watch a movie exactly like this. That's what I'm saying.
So Holly was prepared.
I
yeah,
was
but I
ready
guess
for this.
when the reveal happened for me, I wasn't like disappointed by it. I was like,
I wasn't
oh,
either.
and it's her. You know,
I was disappointed. I also like how she played the devil. Like this is one of I haven't. I think I've only seen this movie. This might be my third time, but I go back and watch the scene where she pops up as the devil and goes through that whole thing because it's scary to me.
It's
Just the
nicely
black
shot
eyes.
and
It's
lit
well
and-
shot,
yeah.
well lit. The voice work because they
Yeah.
modulate her and everything. And it's just like it scares me.
It was creepy. It was
It's creepy. I
sufficiently
don't like it.
creepy.
It scares
Yeah.
me
and
because if the
she's
devil
not-
ever popped up like this, it'd be a heart attack and I'd be gone.
Because there's also one of the blackout moments when it's like the light flashes and you see the face of
Yeah.
the devil like right by. There's like these subtleties that are creepy for just like a split second.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Those work on
Yeah.
me.
Where the
Those work
what
on
is
me.
the wrapped face we saw in the corner?
Yeah.
That's
one of them
yeah.
lights a lighter or something.
and
There's
yeah,
this
there's a
creature or
face
something
effect.
behind.
Those
That was crazy.
Those split seconds work
Whoa.
on me.
Those
I like
work.
that.
Yes.
Was that the person that he beat up? Because we learned things about the backstory. Like
do.
the security guard has like a history of
Right, because
violence.
Chris Messina is doing work while everything else is going on. It's like, you do this. You
Yeah,
do
yeah,
this.
yeah. Go find
I need
me the
everything on
results
these
of-
He's
people.
like
I need
super
lists.
cop.
He is. And like that, when you want, if you ever imagined being a cop, this is the cop you would want to be,
Right.
telling people everything to do to figure out a crime and all this.
He's the
Give
most
me a list
efficient
of
cop
this.
ever.
He
Yeah.
is.
Yes.
Like, give me the, and everything
No,
he's
you know
doing,
who's efficient is his partner
Yeah.
who has to
Who
go.
gets it
do
done?
everything.
It's done. Yeah.
He's doing all the
One guy.
legwork. Yeah.
He gets so much told to do.
Yeah, boss, you're never going to believe this. I found.
Like, he is the all-star of this team.
So what do we learn about these people? Right, Bokeem Woodvine has
he's
a
a
history
thug.
of violence.
Yeah.
We got the girl, the only girl in the elevator. She blackmails rich guys. right?
Yeah, she's a Black Widow.
And she hasn't killed anybody,
No, she didn't.
and she has married into like
the
it turns
Caraway
out,
security system.
which they own the so it's like red
They own
herrings and all that.
the whole security team is Caraway Security. We learned her last name is Caraway.
And that's
so
why she was like, "Oh, they know me." When she walked in,
Yeah.
and was like,
Right,
"I
right.
don't need to check in."
And so we get into a like a sub thing where it's just like, is Bokeem Woodbine like sent there to kill her?
And
because
kill
she
everybody
was-
else to cover
Right.
it.
because
which
she
is-
was going to see a forensic accountant lawyer
To get all her,
to-
her soon-to-be ex-husband's money.
to see all the assets for the divorce.
I liked this idea. Like the
I mean, as a red herring,
as a red herring,
yeah,
or as a red herring, it was good. I liked
it was all right.
I was all for it. It's like, ooh, it could be this.
We learned
Because Bokeem Woodbine's either, and they play into it at the exact right time. It's like, why don't you get next to me and I'll protect
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Like, I don't
yeah,
trust
yeah.
anybody, but this is just like, whoa, he's trying to do it.
Okay, this temp agency, real villain of the movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Real not
Screening.
good.
You got to
Yeah.
screen your people.
This guy has multiple assaults, including beating
These are the
someone
kind
with
of
a
people you
baseball
hire for your
bat,
security,
and
as
you
they
get
say in
him
the
a
movie.
security job.
Yeah.
You give him basically police powers.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my
Again,
god.
But
Private
it's
sector
the Caraway
police.
Security who's trying to knock her off.
I,
they
oh
would've
my
hired
God,
him
I
then.
know,
If
I
that-
know.
yeah.
But man, just like
It works
I love that
for a minute.
but I love that the off-screen temp agency is like the real problem
real
in this
bad,
movie.
yeah.
Well, I think the mattress salesman, he had a
Ponzi
Ponzi
scheme.
scheme.
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people lost their asses.
He ruined
according-
lives. Yeah.
He did,
So
and
much,
he seems like
so
he
much
ruined-
so
Yeah.
that someone killed himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was it the lady at the beginning of the movie that jumped off the building and killed herself? Was she the one that killed herself because
Oh shit!
she
See, they
was
should
in the
have had a
Ponzi scheme?
deleted scene that maybe they do. Maybe that was like
Yeah.
a connection because everything else does seem to like I thought connected.
Yeah, it does.
Logan Marshall Green. We learn he's a former soldier, trained to kill. Then and became a mechanic. But I don't know if we ever informed then. I think the reveal is like that he killed Chris Messina's family,
Yeah.
right?
That's not revealed till late.
Yeah.
Way
So
later.
what was the old lady then? I mean, as they were going through the screening people, like what was her? They never really did have her.
She was a thief. Yeah, she stole wallets. And then
That's right.
She stole. They see her on video camera stealing a wallet. When she dies, her bag spills out
Full.
many wallets.
Yeah.
Which also, there's a point where Chris Messina wants to give her his name, so he asks them to put their driver's license up to the camera,
Right.
and she probably pulls some random ass one from out of there,
Right.
but and holds it up, but they can't read
You
it
get
through
it
the
closer to
camera.
the camera.
Yeah,
yeah. It's like nothing's clear when you get it close to the camera.
But I
It's
guess there was also like some kind of misdirect that I didn't catch because I didn't remember the name. But they think that she is a different person because she signed in.
oh no,
or
that's-
she
no,
didn't
no,
sign
no,
in.
No,
That's-
Logan Marshall Green is
Yeah,
the is the
signed
name.
in as like his
His-
girlfriend.
It looks like Jane Kowski, but it's
Yeah.
his
Janikowski.
last name is Jankowski, Tony
Right.
Jankowski, and they thought it was
Jane Kowski.
Kowski.
They
And it's
assumed
like-
it was her. And
Yeah.
then
Did
they're like,
sign in.
Yeah.
Is the big revelation.
Who is her? And then she is
then
the
she
devil.
pops
Which on IMDb they just have Logan Marshall Green listed as mechanic and no
Right.
name to not.
A
give
lot of
away
them
that
they have
reveal.
old lady,
Yeah.
mechanic, young lady, security guard,
Yep.
mattress salesman.
Yeah.
But also, the thing I picked up this time and didn't notice before is that we see Logan Marshall Green's girlfriend is like rushing to the building.
Yeah.
And she's like, he was here for a job interview and he didn't want to bring in his tool bag. She's like, but I was late picking him up. So he either isn't driving voluntarily anymore or doesn't have his license, I assume, because he was drinking and driving and got in that car accident.
Right. Yeah,
But he
So-
was never caught for it.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Is he voluntarily just not driving
Maybe.
because he's feels guilty
Yeah,
about
maybe.
what
Could
he's
be.
done?
That
You
could
know,
be
there's a
true.
nice
Yeah.
little detail I didn't notice before that.
Yeah.
I was late to pick him up.
Because,
Yeah.
because that has to be the reason why
Yeah.
she's there, because she's
Right.
not there for much.
She says I was late to pick him up. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was like there for a job interview or something.
Right, like he's trying to reestablish his life because if he hasn't officially crashed out with police or whatever,
Right.
like he has crashed out personally.
Yeah, because we see he was drinking and he was having some road sodas when he
Yeah,
hit
he
the
definitely
yeah,
was reaching
yeah,
for them
Yeah,
when this.
Yeah, we get a
incident happened.
flashback to kind of. So that is like the M. Night Shyamalan twist, right? We find out that like Logan Marshall Green is connected to the hero cop.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God. And then what's the hero cop going to do? About this. So like Logan Marshall Green is the only survivor, right? The devil can't take his soul.
Because he takes responsibility for what he did.
And
It is 5 years later, and like, does the timeline count? Like, even if it is 5 years later and you take responsibility, is the devil going to be like, why did the devil take so long to take him? Why did
Yeah.
the devil wait 5
Right.
years
When he's trying to get his life turned around,
Right,
then
when he's trying
now
to
I'm
do
coming
good.
for you.
That was
yeah.
the moment
Yeah.
that you get them all together.
Right. Well, I think that was it because
He likes to be
you gotta-
efficient.
And have fun.
Well, I think that is like, it's
Yeah.
like, well, where can I see the convergence of all these people?
Yeah.
Where can I reap the most benefit for
Yeah.
myself as the devil? And I can take them all.
Well, and also if he's getting his life together, then he's real close to getting his soul back.
Right.
So the devil wants to take it real quick before he gets it back, but he's too late.
True.
So then it's
And he might be on very like shaky ground.
Yeah.
Like, the most shaky ground at that point. Like
he's like, oh, he's about to
he's
turn
on the
things around. I want to
verge
get him
of
before he
doing-
turns things around. Yeah.
was there ever a doubt in your mind that this was a redemption story? And at the end, I guess, at the moment when Chris Messina knows this is the guy who killed my
Which
wife, what?
Which point? Because he knows
After he's like, that's the guy who killed my wife. When he admits, Logan
he
Marshall
admits it,
Green
he
admits
sees it
it.
on the camera.
Messina hears it and is like, oh shit, that's the guy.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, Marshall Green survives in the elevator. The devil is mysteriously gone. And so Messina's like, I'll take him back to headquarters.
Right.
And you're like, oh shit. Like, what's he going to do with him? Now he's got him alone in the car.
I think they could have done a lot more within this scene. Again, but this movie is 80 minutes and they are going quick no matter what the scene calls for. So they just, you know what the funny thing is? I forgive you.
I mean, honestly, though, it makes sense if you think about it. He's, basically watching these people like a fishbowl as the devil takes them one by one.
Right. And
so he's like, okay, well, this is my chance to take responsibilty.
right.
He's God.
Well, and you
he's
also
God.
have to realize, like,
He was watching it all happen
right, at this point,
from above. I'm saying he's the God figure.
Kelly, you're not
Yeah.
wrong. But also, like, Chris, and in that regard, Chris Messina has seen some shit
Yeah.
at this point.
so he
has
knows
seen-
that Logan
he has
Marshall
seen-
Green went through hell and
Yes.
suffered and
Yeah.
paid.
because he has seen the woman.
He's been watching it all on the camera.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
And he's seen her disappear. Like
Yeah.
he is going through all this stuff as well. So
He's
it is
like,
super-
he's like, what am I going to do to this guy?
that he
That
hasn't
he's already been through hell.
just done.
I've already been through hell.
Yeah,
It's time for
and
life
he's
to
seen
go
it.
on.
Like
yeah.
and he's heard the stories. Like it all comes together, and he's just like, all right. But by the end, he believes.
Yeah, I think the moment he needed was just to tell him, like, you're the one that killed my family. He didn't.
Right.
That's all he needed. He
Yes.
just needed him to know.
Right. They just needed that
Yeah.
confirmation at that point because, and for both of them to know at that
Yeah.
moment.
If
And then he forgave.
If you
him.
spend your entire day watching the devil take people in an elevator,
Yeah.
you're not going to spend your evening being like, hey, it's my turn to fuck you up. No.
Right.
No.
True.
the superior powers already fucked you
gonna-
up.
Right. That's very true.
You're going to get some Chinese food and go home and cry.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'll go to jail,
Yeah.
and you'll go home and cry with the Chinese food. I might do that tonight.
All right, well, there you go.
Sounds good.
Right? Because I'm very hungry after a good cry.
Right? Yeah. Same.
Well, that's Devil, I guess,
Devil.
right? We
Yeah.
will tell you whether or not, this can go either way because it sounds, I don't
We
know.
have thoughts.
The
We have
feeling
thoughts.
is that it's positive, but we don't know. And you don't know either. And you'll find out after we read some of your mail. And in order to do that, we're going to have to summon our mailman, Igor. Bring us the mail.
Masters, the mail. I've got the mail. So many letters. Our followers are rising.
Why, thank you, Igor.
I like your shirt, Colin. Did you wear that today specifically for? I mean, it's not Friday the 13th, but it is Friday, and we're close to. I don't know.
I think every day is,
Jason
Friday
is
13th.
never too far away. There's just
Colin
always
wears this
another
every day.
shirt.
What am I saying?
I was like,
over
Colin
it.
wears that all the time. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, well, we should let the good folks at home know how they can participate on this interactive portion of our show by following along on Facebook
Facebook.com/Saturday Night Freak Show.
or X,
At Sat Freak Show.
or by emailing us directly,
SaturdayNightFreakShow@yahoo.com.
or on Instagram at Saturday Night Freak Show. About tonight's movie, Devil, Mike Miller writes in and says, I vaguely recall watching this while sick with the flu. I remember something about a security guard freaking out because his toast landed jelly side down. The rest is
You are
hazy,
correct.
and I
that
never
that's what you
felt the
remember.
need to revisit it. I hope you all have a better time with it than I did.
Yep.
Michael Whitaker says, I've seen this in pieces. I can't particularly remember anything that I thought was downright awful. I know the Freak Show doesn't give M. Night the universal pass I tend to give him, but then I'm biased because I'm from the Philly area. I do wish we got more of these Night Chronicle movies, though. It seems like he was poised to move on from horror by this time, and it was nice to see him come back to it in some capacity, and I think I would have been interested to see other directors tackle his ideas. And maybe they would have had some success.
I think that would have been I think they should have continued. I think this might have been a good idea. Not him having full control, because we've seen how that goes, but this might have been a good idea to go forward with.
Would they? But this is before, I guess, 2010,
The bad
right?
times?
So, no, like streaming. I mean, you make a anthology television show now.
I would like to see him find his partner in directing and have him just write and have someone who can
That might be good.
maybe bring his work to the next
Balance
level.
him out.
Yeah.
The man needs balance.
I believe his work soulmate is out there somewhere. I believe it. I
agree.
just don't think he wants to find them.
Well, he didn't write the script for this, right?
He
He wrote the story,
He
though.
wrote the story,
but
so
yeah,
the
Ben
script is
something or other,
actually
somebody else.
by somebody
yes.
else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. He needs a partner would be good for him.
Well, thank you for writing in.
He is
We
unwilling.
Yes.
really appreciate it.
I don't blame him. I get it, but
And now we're going to go around the table and tell you what we thought of the movie, starting with
Holly,
Me.
not you. Colin.
Oh, no!
fake out.
What a twist!
Gotta throw a twist in there. Colin, what did you think of Devil?
This is a bizarre situation. I mean, I saw the movie. So this is the third time that I've seen this.
Right.
I saw it in the theater,
Yep.
and I thought it was an efficient thriller. And then I subsequently forgot everything about it. And then I saw it again on video some years later. Well, I'll revisit Devil.
Right?
And I thought it was an efficient thriller. And then I forgot everything about it. And then I've seen it tonight. And even as I'm watching
You're
it, I'm
correct,
like,
Colin.
this seems very familiar. But I enjoyed it, and I thought it was an efficient thriller.
You're going to forget it soon.
That's what I'm afraid of. Well, I don't know. Now, when you have the Freak Show and you sit and you actually
Yeah, we
tear
are
a movie
cementing
apart,
it tonight.
You do tend to remember movies better than you do when you just watch them and then you're done.
True.
We're giving it deep thought here.
Not for Holly.
Not for me.
No.
My memory's
Holly's
just
just
shit.
gone after the
Yeah, it's
show's
just
over.
gone.
I thought it was an effective movie. I thought, you're
efficient
watching
thriller?
it, you're like, it's well produced. I thought the script, aside from, yes, the laughable scene where, but you're trying to explain a goofy concept,
Right.
and
you're
it's
not,
like,
you're just going for it.
yeah, I mean, I'm sure you could do it better. I can't give you an example of how I
Not
would
in 80
have done it
minutes.
better right then. But it was like, okay, we're rushing through this. Guy believes there's a devil and here's how you prove it. All right. I liked all the people in it. I liked, I don't know. I'm going to say I recommend the movie. I guess I enjoyed watching Devil.
Good
And
poster.
I guess I wish, because that upside down
cross.
photography that it starts with of the cityscape,
Oh, yeah.
was kind of cool.
Didn't Candyman, the remake, the Nia DaCosta?
Oh, yeah.
They did it really well.
Yeah, they
That
did
was
that
good.
too, yeah.
I liked that movie.
I like the movie.
I got to
too.
watch it again. I think I
The ending-
if I watch it
Yeah, I
again,
didn't
would
like
It doesn't
movie.
stick the landing for the
No.
ending,
It had
but
moments.
everything
I
up
think
until
Yeah, it
the
had
end.
I'd be
moments.
like, all right, that's good.
So I would recommend it. Well, Holly, what'd you think?
No, Michaela.
No, go ahead.
Like I said, I don't like movies that take a position of moral superiority and lecture the audience, especially with a religious
You're
undertone.
not better than me movie.
Yeah, I just I mean, I was reminded a bit of Drag Me to Hell watching this movie, but I like Drag Me to Hell a lot more. It's gross, it's weird, it's Sam Raimi. I also did not agree with the moral of that movie. Alison Lohman did not deserve what happened to her in that movie, and I said that on that episode. So, I don't like when the punishment doesn't fit the crime in movies. And last I checked, blackmailing people and petty theft were not punishable by death.
Right. Or
So,
being dragged to hell.
Yeah, I don't love this eye for an eye attitude of this movie. I mean, it's got good cast in it, and I think that I can see why an actor would be attracted to this movie, because it's the idea of you're going to do a bottle episode, you're going to do this whole thing is really good. I see on paper why it's attractive.
Yeah, this is a good hour of television. And,
I was gonna say, I think M. Night Shyamalan should do an anthology and just get all of these kinds of ideas out in an anthology. This would have been better suited as like one story in like a 3 or 4 movie anthology, because they're really stretching it to get to 80 minutes. There's so many skyline shots, and it's just this is a thin movie, and there's not much there. It really doesn't have enough to support a full runtime. I think it would be better served in anthology. And I just think bring back anthologies in general, but I think M. Night Shyamalan could really thrive in an anthology, because he has so many half-baked ideas. Right. And that's perfect for an anthology,
Here's 4 of my half-baked ideas.
Yeah.
Make a movie out of
Yeah,
it.
exactly. So why? Why are we so like afraid that, especially like, what was that thing that just came out that they were going to make like a TikTok version of a big movie? Did you see this? What fucking thing was it?
No.
What movie was it?
No.
It was the next like legacy sequel to. It was the Russos saying this. Let me pull up real quick. But the Russos.
Michaela's melting down.
The Russos said that the next movie they were going to make was going to be for the TikTok audience, and they were going to cater to shorter attention spans.
Interesting.
So
Quibi.
to me, that Quibi, rip Quibi. You lasted what, a year maybe?
Not even that, I don't think.
Yeah, and it's just why. So if we're really going to market to the TikTok crowd, why are we not doing anthology movies? Plus, it's a great way to get all these like powerful people to come together to make something.
Jump in here, do this real quick, and then jump out.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it would be better served as that. I think it might even be better as like a Twilight Zone episode. This feels like a Twilight Zone episode, not fully complete. But yeah, I didn't like it when I saw it. I saw it on a first date in 2010. And
How'd that go? You still dating that guy?
no, it
she
didn't
saw
last.
the Wolfman with
I
it.
saw a different guy.
Oh, different.
I was just gonna
dear
say,
listener, if you don't know the history of Michaela, she takes a lot of first dates.
I was gonna say.
It's a litmus test
Yes,
for her.
I was gonna say, in retrospect, I've seen a lot of bad horror movies on first dates. But I mean, if you're not, being with me means you're going to be subjected to some bad horror movies. So you might as well rip that Band-Aid off. I also saw The Last Exorcism on a first date, but that was probably the best movie I saw on a first date. Didn't enjoy it then. That relationship didn't work out either. I don't care for this movie. I don't care for its attitude. I don't enjoy it. I didn't.
I don't like your attitude right now.
I hadn't rewatched it in 15 years for a reason. Chris Messina's great. I think the acting's great. I think everybody in this is doing the most. But it's just not for me. I don't care for it. I'm not going to recommend it. Holly, what'd you think?
Do I get
Not Holly, Sean.
Like,
no,
do I get to go, or
no,
no,
you get to no, Holly, you get to go.
I completely agree with what you're saying about the anthology. I think Shyamalan would do great with an anthology. I think this movie, even though I enjoyed the movie, it didn't need to be a full-length movie. It could have been a shorter version. I think it could have been it could have been more impactful even as a anthology piece.
But it wasn't.
But that being said, I still enjoyed it. Okay, like I said earlier, I went in knowing I was going to be watching an M. Night Shyamalan adjacent movie about the devil, and that's what I got.
Yeah, true.
I was like, okay, this is delivering exactly what I think. It's going to be a fairy tale. It's going to have a story of morality. There's going to be clear, like, good and bad. So none of that was like a surprise to me. And I usually take M. Night Shyamalan movies at face value. I think he doesn't get too deep ever. I mean, really, I think he wants to, but I think most of his points are pretty surfacey.
I think as I watch more, and it's like that may be where he's
I think he thinks he's getting deep, but he's not. And I think this movie is a good example of that, where it's like, oh, it's the ultimate, like the devil and God, and it's like, okay, but you're really just like base level kind of stuff here, which is also why it's 80 minutes.
We're shallow. We can't go.
No, like it's
82.
No, but like if you just take it at that value, I think it's entertaining. I think the story had me the whole time, even though like I called who the devil was going to be. I still liked the reveal. I still liked that it actually was the character I thought it was going to be. I was here for the point of like taking responsibility for your actions. I was like, okay, I can get on board with that.
Right.
I can see why it's a little preachy But like I said, to me, I don't believe in the devil, so I go into it just seeing it as a movie about a vampire or a zombie, like things that I don't think exist, you know, like I just go with it. So that's why it works for me, because I just go with it. I go with the fairy tale. Yeah, I thought everyone in it did a great job.
Yeah.
They're all, it definitely has its problems. Do not get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed the ride. So I'm going to recommend it. I can see why it doesn't sit well with lots of people.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. So I'm going to recommend it. Sean, what'd you think?
Man, even if it's not directed by M. Night Shyamalan, it feels like an M. Night Shyamalan movie, doesn't it?
It does.
No.
What?
His would be slower. That's that's the thing that M. Night Shyamalan does. He makes his stuff. You're saying it's like surface level deep.
Mm-hmm.
He makes it feel pretentious by extending the time.
Right.
This is like it doesn't feel like that at
Like
all.
we have no time for your night bullshit.
It's just going through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, any place you would lengthen this with your bullshit, we're gonna cut it down and just go for it.
That's why I say it feels adjacent, but
Yeah.
you can tell it's not directed by him.
Yeah,
Because it's cleaner. It's not that slow pace.
not taking those moments to like indulge himself.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
is he indulgent?
It's
in
not
those?
it's not insulting you by pretending that you didn't already get it.
Yeah, I don't know. There's the reason I bring it is because if M. Night Shyamalan is involved, it's at least interesting. Whether you like it or not, whether it's good or not, there's something you're going to get out of it. Whether it's the discussion of the movie, its merits, it's something that's wrong with it, what it does well.
about.
Like there's stuff to talk about. I like that in a filmmaker.
Yeah.
Like I don't, that's not necessarily bad.
And we've
Man.
said it before. We all appreciate that he tries things.
He tries. Michaela always says, big swings. And she likes it. So big swings. This felt like, just from a producing standpoint, a big swing. I still think, you got to boil it down. I still think I like the movie. As we all said, I recognize its weak spots.
Yeah,
I
for
think we
sure.
all do.
For sure.
And what it's not accomplishing, what it is accomplishing. There's certain moments that really, of this movie that really stuck with me. Again, when she rises up as the devil, and for her part in this, it like that always stuck with me. It always scared me. There's effectiveness to this movie. There's an advantage of this movie being very quick, 80 minutes in and out. That helps, because if this was a 2-hour movie, there's no way I'd recommend it to you.
No.
But yeah, I'm still entertained by it. Again, good cast. There's stuff to like about this. There are bad parts about this. It is a movie that is not subtle. It's because of its runtime. It's just going for it. It's like, you need to know this, and we're going to tell you it very succinctly and very purposefully. I still liked it. I'm still entertained. There's still some good about this. It would be interesting if he had continued the Night Chronicles, because I would have watched them, I think, based off this. Again, it's not A+ filmmaking here, but it's still, I think, entertaining. And it's good to talk about, and that's always fun to me. That's really what I'm going for. It's like, I like talking movies with people, and this is a movie that's going to get you talking movies
Feels
with people.
good to talk about these things.
Yeah, it really does, Holly. And just listen to the last hour of conversation we've had with this. Yeah, I'll recommend it, because I'd talk this movie with anybody who's like, have you seen Devil? It's like, I have seen Devil. What do you think about it? So, and I think that's a plus for this movie. So, I'm going to recommend it, but also know that you're going in with, there's going to be some down parts of this, but there's a lot to elevate it. So I'll recommend it.
Sometimes you just know what's going to be for you and what's not going to be for you.
Yeah. And I wouldn't look down at anybody who said like, this is not for me. It's like, understandable.
We're not all going to like every flavor of Jolly Rancher.
It's very true. What flavor of Jolly Rancher don't you like, Holly?
Grape.
You don't like grape?
Don't like grape.
Okay. I'm not a big fan of green apple.
There you go. See?
And that's where we're at.
But we like Jolly Ranchers, right?
But we like Jolly Ranchers.
That's the point.
So there you go. And that is a recommend on my part. Watch Devil. It's a little on the side of M. Night Shyamalan, but yeah, you should watch it. It's worth discussion.
All right, so that's Devil.
Devil.
I was thinking Signs is his most like faith-based movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
But it's a theme, right?
Yeah,
Either a belief, the village. All right. So next week we're gonna watch a movie that's chosen by.
Holly, what are we going to watch next week?
We're gonna watch one that's been suggested quite a bit.
Is it going to be a movie that because we've seen this credit a few times? Have you ever seen the movie that's like suggested by a song, or we watch one movie that's like suggested by a story? But I'll look it up later. But there is like you get written by, you get directed by, suggested by. We've watched that movie.
Mm-hmm.
This one's been brought up a lot. A lot of people want us to watch it. I think it's been voted on for our listener choice several times. We're gonna watch Lair of the White Worm.
Ooh,
All right.
okay.
All right.
I've heard many things about it.
Yes.
Know nothing about it.
Yeah.
I know nothing about
Me
it.
neither.
All right.
Keep it that way.
Will do.
Okay, that's Lair of
Is
the.
it directed
You're
by
in for
anybody?
Ken Russell. You're in for a wild time next week on the Saturday Night Freak Show. We hope you'll join us. And until then, ladies and germs, the basement is going dark.